greater than change in price. If this is happening, whether in the positive direction or the negative direction, this is known as relative elastic demand. And here DD is a demand curve. Now come to the next one, relatively inelastic demand. It is very opposite to the relative elastic demand. Clear? Like in the previous slide, what was happening? Change in demand was greater than change in price. If you will reverse it, it will come to relatively inelastic demand. So what is the mean of that? It means in this case, the change in demand will be less than change in price. It is very much clear from the picture. In the beginning diagram, it is clear. In the beginning, your price level is OP, your demand is OQ. So when your price is decreasing, OP0, your demand is increasing, OQ0, because there is an inverse relationship between price and demand. But the price is decreasing by 10% and only demand is increasing by 5%. It means the change in demand should always be less than change in price. Change in demand, if the price is changing by 10%, so the change in demand can be 8%, 7%, 6%, 9%, but definitely it will be less than price. So this is known as relatively inelastic demand. Now, this is very, very important table for you to understand. If I'm talking about perfectly elastic demand, it means a small change in price can bring a higher change in demand. And in this case, elasticity of demand, or you can say price, will be is equal to infinite. Perfectly inelastic demand, it means whatever the price you will change, demand will not change. So in this case, elasticity of price or demand will be equal to 0. Third is EP is greater than 1. Relatively elastic demand. Why? Because in this case, change in demand is greater than the change in price. So here EP will be greater than 1 because in this case, your numerator will be greater than the denominator. So whatever the value will come, it will be always greater than 1. The next is relatively inelastic demand. Now in this case, the change in demand is less than the change in price. So EP will be always less than 1 because in this case, numerator is lesser, denominator is higher. So definitely whatever the value will come, it will be always less than 1. Unitary elastic demand. Now in this case, change in demand is equal to change in price. It means numerator and denominator, both values are same, then definitely elasticity of price will be is equal to 1. Now this is the diagram. This is not a new. You have, learned all these lines. These all describes the demand curve. That when you have the perfectly elastic, this is the demand curve shape. When perfectly inelastic, this is the demand curve shape. If it is unitary, this is the shape. It is less than unitary, it is the shape. You can look over here. If still you have confusion that how it is created, this is the first line which they have created when the demand is elastic. Demand curve. DD is the demand curve when it is a perfectly inelastic demand. DD is a demand curve when it is a unitary elastic demand. DD is a demand curve when it is relatively elastic. And DD is the demand curve when it is relatively inelastic. If you will combine all these DD curves and draw it on a graph paper, it will give you that kind of the shape. So this is not a new. It is all the demand curves are created over here. Now we talk about the income elasticity of demand. Now, what is the mean of income elasticity of demand? Income elasticity of demand means as the income will, the change in, demand due to change in income. Income elasticity of demand means the change in demand due to change in income. It means how much change will come in demand if the income is changing. If your income is increasing by 5%, 10%, 20%, or if it is decreasing by 5, 10 or 20%, then how much the change will come in demand. So this is explained by the income elasticity of demand. So what is the formula over here? To calculate the income elasticity of demand, read the last line. percentage change in demand divided by percentage change in income. That how much the demand is changing due to change in income. This is a formula to calculate elasticity of demand. Now here the formula is given in a mathematical form. Now look at here. So what is the formula over here? Just a second. So what is the formula over here? Now this is the formula. Delta Q divided by delta Y into Y divided by Q. Here Y is actual income. Delta Y, change in income. Maybe your income is increasing or decreasing. Q means the quantity of a product, or you can say the quantity demanded. Delta Q means change in the quantity. You can make use of this formula to calculate the income elasticity of demand. Now, this is a simple example which is, given over here, that examples of the elasticity of the demand. Here he's saying that. Now here, they are telling you that how the formula will be implemented. So they have given a small case over here that in the beginning, your income is 2,000 rupees. And when your income is 2,000 rupees, you demand 20 units of a product. Fine. So when your income increases to 3,000 rupees, your demand will increase because your income is increasing. So in this case, suppose your demand increases to 40 units. Then how you will calculate the elasticity of demand? So this is the formula, delta Q divided by delta Y into Y divided by Q. So this is the formula. This is the same. They have reversed it. Fine. Now, first you need to calculate what is Y. Y is your actual income. What is your actual income in the beginning? 2,000 rupees. Delta Y, change in income, because your income is increasing 3,000 rupees. So what is the change? 3,000 minus 2,000, it is 1,000 rupees. Q means beginning quantity, beginning demand. In the beginning, how many units you demanded? 20 units. So the value of Q will be 20 units. Delta Y means the change in quantity demanded. So what is the change in quantity demanded? Because when your income increased, you demand more units of the product and it is 40. So what is the difference? It is 40 minus 20, 20 units. When you will put all the values in the given formula, you will be able to calculate the elasticity of income. Here EY, it means elasticity of income. Y means income over here. It is 2%. So it is telling you that an increase of rupees 1,000 in income, or therefore 1% in income, leads to a rise of 2% in quantity demand. So it is telling you that if you increase the income of an individual by 1,000 rupees, then the change in demand will be 2%. So it is telling you. Marketers, they are this concept is very, very important for those people who are marketer, who are having their business, who set up the price of a product. Why it is very, very important? Because it is very important for them to identify that if they will change the price of a product, how much change will come in demand. Because that may happen that if they little bit increase the price of a product, and demand will become very, very less. In this case, the company will face a very huge loss, and the company do not want to go into the loss. So before changing the price of a product, they calculate the elasticity of demand. They calculate the elasticity of price. That if the price is little bit increased or decreased, how much the demand will be changed. So whether this change in demand will give them the profit or not. So this is a very, very important concept for them. Now, the types of income elasticity of demand. We have the positive income elasticity, negative income elasticity, zero income elasticity. What is the mean of positive income elasticity? It means your income is increasing, then definitely your demand will decrease. But it is in case of normal goods. Negative income elasticity, your income is increasing, but your demand is decreasing. Now we will say, ma'am,